Hello, this is Farhan Shakil from the Republic 2.0 today, and today we are going to attempt the Edexcel paper 1 of May 2024. That is the most recent exam of 8MAO, right? So we're going to begin with the question number 1. And in question number 1, he's just telling us to integrate 2 root of x minus 3 divided by x square, right? So first of all, how can we just simplify it? First of all, we need to simplify the expression. And we have got 2 root of x upon x square minus 3 upon x square. So we can just simply write it down like 2 x to the power of 1 by 2 minus 2 minus 3 x to the power of minus 2 times dx. So that is going to give me 2x to the power of 1 by 2 minus 2, which is going to be 1 by 2 minus 2 is going to be something like minus 3 by 2 minus 3x to the power of negative 2 times dx. Now I'm just going to integrate them up, and integrating them up, I would be having 2x to the power of negative 3 by 2 plus 1 divided by negative 3 by 2 plus 1. And then I've got negative 3x to the power of minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1 plus c. Now I'm just going to simplify them up, and I would be having 2x to the power of negative 1 by 2 divided by negative 3 by 2 plus 1 would also be something like negative 1 by 2. Negative 3x to the power of negative 1 divided by negative 1 plus c. And now you can times this 2 by this 2, and you would just be having negative 4x to the power of negative 1 by 2 plus 3x to the power of negative 1 plus c. And at the end of the day, I would be having negative 4 upon root of x plus 3 upon x plus c. So that is how we were supposed to do this question number 1. Now, we have got the question number 2. And in question number 2, he is just telling us that we have got a function where a and b are the constants. Given that x minus 4 is a factor, if x minus 4 is a factor, what does that mean? By plugging x is equals to 4 in this expression, the remainder has to be 0. Use the factor theorem to show that 10a is equal to 32b, 32 plus b. We just need to show this thingy. So how can we do that? First of all, for the first part, let us assume that x minus 4 is equal to 0. That would give me x is equals to 4, right? So the function above would become f of 4 is equals to, I'm just going to plug 2x cube, 2 times 4 cube, and then I would be having minus 3ax square, minus 3ax square, and then I would be having plus b times 4, and then at the end of the day, I would be having plus 8a. So I'm just going to simplify it. Since it was the factor, so f of 4 has to be 0. 4 cube is 64. 64 times 2 has to be 128. 4 square is 16. 16 times 3 has to be something like 48a plus 4b plus 8a. So now I would be having 0 is equals to 128 minus 48 and plus 8 has to be negative 40a plus 4b. So that is going to be some sort of your answer. Move that 48 to the other side. I would be having 40a is equals to 128 plus 4b. The common thing that we can have from this expression is 4. So 10a is equals to 4. 4 times 32 is 128 plus this is 4. This 4 and 4 cancels out, and I'll be left out with 10a is equals to 32 plus b. That is equation number 1, and this is what we needed to prove as well, right? In the B part, given also that x minus 2 is a factor of f of x, x minus 2 is also a factor of f of x, express f of x in the form of 2x plus k, x minus 4 times x minus 2. So if x minus 2 is also a factor, by plugging x minus 2 into the above expression, would also give me the remainder 0. So I'm just going to assume x minus 2 is equal to 0 as well. From here, x should be equal to 2. So f of 2 would be something like 2 times 2 cube minus 3a times 2 square plus b times 2 plus 8a, right? I've just plugged x equals to 0 in the function given. This is going to be 0. 2 cube is 8. 8 times 2 has to be 16. 2 square is 4. 4 times 3 has to be negative 12a. 2 times b has to be 2b, and then 8a. So I'll be left out with 0 is equals to 16 minus 12a plus 8a has to be minus 4a plus 2b. And now I'm just going to move that 4a to the side, and I would be having 4a is equals to 16 plus 2b, right? So by taking something as common from here, I would be having 2 times 2a. Over here, I would be having 2 times 8 plus b. This 2 cancels out by this 2a, and you would be left out with 2a is equals to 8 plus b. So you've got this expression. 2a is equals to 8 plus b, and that is your equation number 2. Now, what we need to do to write that expression down, we need to solve both of these equations simultaneously, this one and this one, to get ourselves the final answers for a and b first of all. So solving, the next step is solving equation number 1 and 2 simultaneously. And when you're going to solve it down, you can have the values of b. The value of b from here would be 2a minus 8. And the value of b from there is going to be 10a minus 32. 10a minus 32. So now I'm just going to get the value of a, and that is going to be 32 minus 8 equals to 10a minus 2a. 32 minus 8 is going to be 24. 10a minus 2a is going to be something like 8a, and a comes out to be 3, right? And once you've got the value of a, you can just simply plug that value of a in any one of the above equations to get yourself the final answer. Like, for example, let me plug that value of a over here. In this equation, a is 3. So 2 times 3 is equals to 8 plus b. 6 minus 8 is equals to b. So b comes out to be negative 2. So that is the expression. I've got it. A is equals to 3 and b is equals to negative 2, right? So the above expression, so the given expression, so f of x was, whatever it was. For example, now f of x would become, you can see that this was f of x. I'm just going to plug in the values of a and b. 2x cube as it is, 2x cube as it is, then minus, you've got 3ax square. So 3x square, right? And then you've got bx, right? So bx plus b is going to be negative 2, x is going to be as it is. And at the end of the day, I've got a constant, I guess, and that is 8a. So I'm just going to write 8a over here plus 8a. And this equation would eventually look like 2x cube minus 9x square minus 2x and plus 8. Sorry, the value of a was 3, so it would become 24. So plus 24, right? So we have got this expression, and now we're just gonna, simply using the inspection method, we need to get ourselves the final thingies of these things. So what I'm gonna do now, I can just simply write it like, first of all, by just, 2x cube minus 9x square minus 2x plus 24. The first factor was x minus 4. I'm gonna times it by this thing. So 2x square, and I would have 2x cube. 2x square times 4 has to be negative 8x square, and I would be left out with negative x square, negative 2x plus 24. And now I'm going to times it by negative x. So I would be left out with negative x square, negative 4 times x has to be something like negative x square. Negative x times negative 4 has to be positive 4x. This positive going to cancel them up. Negative over here would give you negative 6x plus 24. At the end of the day, you need to multiply that x minus 4 by negative 6, right? So negative 6 times x would eventually become negative 6x plus 24. And now you can just simply cancel them up to have a 0 remainder. So that is how we've got the inspection of this expression. So now we can write 2x cube minus 9x square minus 2x plus 24 to be equal to, what was the x minus 4. And then up over there, we've got 2x square minus x minus 6. Now we can also factorize this expression, and I would be having x minus 4, right? X minus 4. And then 2x square minus x minus 6 can also be written as 2x, x, and over here plus 3, and then minus 2. So that is how we can write our expression, which was given in the question. After that thingy, you can see that, hence state the number of real roots of the function equations. You can see that all of them are going to give you the real roots, right? So k comes out to be 3 from the first expression. And then at the end of the day, we'll be having 3 roots as well, because all of them going to give us the real roots. In the last part of the question, they're telling me that if your function becomes 1 by 3x is equal to 0, you need to get the largest root. So for the largest root, you need to get the largest value of x, and that comes out to be this thingy. So, x minus 4 would become 1 by 3, x minus 4 equals to 0. 1 by 3x would be equal to 4, and the largest value of x could be 12. So that is how we can easily get ourselves the value of 12. Is that clear? So, this was question number 2. Now we're going to get to the question number 3. Relative to the fixed origin, point P has a position vector 9i minus 8j and 3i minus 5j. We need to find out PQ. So if you're looking for PQ, PQ would just simply be Q minus P. And if it is Q minus P, what does that mean? Your Q is 3 and negative 5 minus your P is 9 and negative 8. So you would end up having 3 minus 9, which is going to be something like negative 6, right? It is going to be something like negative 6, and 5 minus minus, it is going to be something like 3. Got it, G? So whenever you'll be looking for the equation of PQ, that would just be y is equals to, the gradient of this two numbers, the change in x and the change in y has to be 3 upon negative 6, and that is going to be negative 1 by 2x. I'm just plugged in the value in y is equals to mx plus c. Given that R is the point such that QR is 9i plus 18j, right? So we've got QR, and QR is basically 9 and 18, right? So if you're going to get yourself equation from 9 and 18, it would just be y is equals to 18 upon 9, 2x, right? So we need to show that PQR is at 90 degrees. So we can easily see that PQ is perpendicular to QR because the product of their gradients is equal to negative 1. You can see that 2 and minus 1 by 2. So angle at PQR is 90 degrees, right? Now the next thing, given also that S is the point such that PS is equal to 3QR, right? PS is equal to 3QR. Find the exact area of PQRS. So we need to find out the exact area of PQRS, right? So first of all, even if you just talk about all of these points, you've got P, you've got Q as well. And, if you just keep on talking about all these points. So in the third part, first of all, get yourself QR, and QR is going to be 9 square plus 18 square, which comes out to be something like 81 plus 18 square, which is 324. And just plugging their values in the calculator, you will be having 9 root of 5, right? 9 root of 5. Apart from that, so from the given expression, you can see that PS was 3 times QR. So PS would be 3 times 9. It is going to be 27 root of 5. So that is QR. And over here, I've got the PS, right? Apart from that, if you just simply calculate the PQ as well, we will be needing PQ as well. So the magnitude of PQ would also be, you had negative 3 square and 6 square. So negative 3 square plus 6 square would at the end of the day giving you 3 square is 9 and 6 square is 36. So you'll end up just having 3 root of 5. Got it? Now, if you want to calculate the area of all of these vertices, remember that the shape of PQR is by just having all these points. the shape of PQRS would somehow look like this. You've got P over here, you've got Q over here, and then you've got an S over here, something like this. So this is going to be R and S. So these are the points, P, Q, R. So first of all, just get yourself the area of this shape. You already know PQ. PQ was 3 root of 5 and QR was 9 root of 5, right? And then get the area of this triangle and just add them up and you'll get the total area. So if you want to calculate the area, it would just be 3 root of 5 times 9 root of 5 plus half of base, right? The distance between S and this thingy was something like 18 root of 5 times it by 3 root of 5. And at the end of the day, you're just going to get yourself the final answer. And that is going to be, by just sorting it down, you would be having 270 units square, right? That is how you'll get the area of this shape, right? Now, we've got this question number 4. And in question number 4, first of all, we need to find out x. So you can see that if you just look into this triangle, you can see that x is an opposite side of 30 degrees and x plus 3 is an opposite side of 140 degrees. So you can just simply apply the sine rule, right? The sine rule would just simply say that you have got, x plus 3 upon the opposite side of x plus 3 was 140 is equals to the opposite side of x was sine 30. So by just cross multiplying them up, you would just be having x plus 3 divided by x equals to sine 140 divided by sine 30. So now you would be having x sine 30 plus 3 sine 30 is equals to x sine 140, right? So by just solving it down, you would be having something like x is equals to 10.5 centimeters square. You can just bring the terms containing x together. And once you've got the terms containing x together, you can have the final answer, right? So your x has to be 10.5 centimeters square. Now, since you've got the value of x, you've got this side, you've got this side, and you also got the angle between them. And that has to be 150. So if you've got the angle, if you've got this side, x was 10.5, 10.5 plus 3 has to be 13.5. X was 10.5, 10.5 minus 2 has to be something like 8.5. So this side is 8.5. So just apply the cosine rule and get yourself the opposite side. So the opposite side was, we need to find out the length of AB. So the opposite AB, so AB square is going to be, what was that? 13.5 ka square plus 8.5 ka square minus 2 times 13.5 times 8.5 times the angle of cos between the angle between them, and that was 150. So if you just simply work them up, AB square is equals to, comes out to be 453.253. So AB square at the end of the day would just be 21.3 centimeters square root, sorry. So AB would just be 21.3 centimeters. That is how we're going to do these questions. I've done the first 4 questions of this paper. In the next video, I'll come back to you guys with the question number 5. Thank you very much.